Okay, so I'm no YouTuber, but I'm gonna make you a video about this Oklahoma Joe's Bronco smoker. It just hit the market, and there's a pretty easy to fix design flaw, but the company's been giving me a bunch of crap about it. And if that's how they're gonna be, then I'm gonna post something exposing them. So here's the issue. Over here you have what they call the snorkel for the air intake that comes up from the base, and there's this that's supposed to slide on there, and then it's got a flange on top to adjust airflow. And here's the deal. Take a look at that spacing. So with that spacing, if you were to put these in the screw holes, you have a very significant gap where it's barely even hanging on. So the question is, what happened? Well, take a look at this. If I flip this over where the flange is on the bottom, line it up with that groove, you'll notice something. Hey, the holes fit. Bolts line up. So apparently you buy a $300 smoker, and then you're gonna have to buy a grinder and a welder to take off that flange and weld it to the bottom, because they're telling me that that is how it's supposed to be, which it's so obviously a mistake. The company wants to pull a fast one. The last thing they're going to want to do is recall their smokers where they screwed it up. I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. So let me go a little bit further here. So the space from that flange where the other tube sits on it to where the first bolt head is, or first hole I should say, in the side of the barrel, is 3 7/8 inches. From the flange up top to the bolt head, the first bolt, that's 3 13/16, where from the bottom up is 3 1/16. Excuse me, I'm one-handed here. Now, right now, current situation, with the flange being welded to the top instead of the bottom, this leaves a 7/8 inch gap from the bolt to the hole through the side of the barrel. Whereas, if that flange was welded to the base, it would be a 1/16 inch. That's called play. That's not even a gap. 1/16 of an inch from that bolt head to that hole. That's what my measurements have come up with. And my measurements are right. I went to school for architecture. I promise you I know how to use a freaking tape measure. So that's the deal, man. That's what Oklahoma Joe's doing to us now. Or I should say Charbroil. They're the ones that own Oklahoma Joe's. That bolt, or really that flange, should have been welded to the other end, and it would line up flawlessly. You'd have a 1/16 of an inch of play. Now, I'm not the first one to bring this to anybody's attention. His name is Jonathan B, and I'll definitely put a link in the bottom down there to go see him. He bought the smoker about a week before I did. He noticed the issue, and there are some extra hardware that comes with it. So he just left the tube sit down there and threw this extra hardware in these holes to close them off. I'm probably gonna, I guess, pay someone, because I don't have a welder. I'm gonna have to pay someone to cut that out and weld it where it's supposed to be so that the thing fits right. You can even read the comments on Jonathan's post that I'm gonna link, where Oklahoma Joe messaged him directly and said that the gap is what they intended, and that it's something that's supposed to be there, which is so blindingly obviously not the case. I mean, nobody designed something to have this much of a gap. I mean, come on now. You're like only halfway down this tube, 3/4 inches from the base down here, from it sitting like it's supposed to. So I don't know if there's like a some kind of loss in translation where they're thinking it's the 1/16 of an inch gap that it would be if this flange was welded on this end, like this picture explains, or if, you know, they just want to pull a fast one and would hate to recall however many thousands of smokers they've done sent out all around the country. Now, I live in North Carolina. I don't know where Jonathan's from, but I've been to 2 different Walmarts in North Carolina, and the display model at one, you can see I took a picture of it to send to them, but the display model, you know, put together the way that it says in the book, has that giant gap. Jonathan's complained about it and has it on his video showing that gap. And then, you know, I figure, hey, let's call them, tell them what's going on, so maybe they can have a chance to make it right. And they gave me a big runaround, and I'm pretty pissed off. I mean, it's such a simple solution. The company should own up to their mistake, recall it, or give some kind of something to fix it. Just send it out to whoever buys it. I don't know. Whatever the solution is, not owning up to your mistakes is not the solution. And that's just, I can't believe they wouldn't be a man of their words. Also, I don't like that this thing fogs up so bad, but I don't use it anyway. I use probes. But anyway, I hope this helps you. Check out Jonathan's post. Like I said, it will be linked in the description. And God bless.